the issues and topics that could be in the spotlight next year. All right, so what are the key things, the themes that you guys are looking at here for 2023?
Yeah, so, I polled a team. We've got a number of different things we're looking at. In the U.S. especially, we're looking at a lot of these bankruptcy cases that have been, we've seen a number of companies file for bankruptcy this year, and they're starting to raise really novel questions about things like customer privacy and protection. If you're a user of a crypto exchange that filed for bankruptcy, chances are in the bankruptcy court, there's a discussion about whether or not your name, your personal identifying information, your holdings perhaps, should be released to the court and therefore to the wider public, or whether that information should be redacted, which is obviously not something I think most crypto users are thinking about when they're signing up for an exchange or a lender. We're looking at the SEC. SEC Chair Geri Gensler has said, for years now at this point, for 2 years, that he believes the SEC has the authority it needs to oversee crypto, and that the law is clear about which cryptos should be securities, which in his view are most of them. And more recently, we're starting to see officials with the SEC, such as Enforcement Director Geri, say that, quote, the runway, I think, is shrinking. So they're kind of signaling that they might actually start cracking down on these crypto exchanges for not registering as securities platforms. And next year, might be the year we see some of this actually take place. We're looking for legislation, whether or not Congress is going to actually pass any laws and say, okay, well, we're going to regulate stablecoins, or we're going to regulate, crypto trading platforms. It might happen. I think the stablecoin bill seems to be the best bet so far, but it doesn't look quite as likely just yet. It seems it's going to take a while. Around the world, we're looking at just kind of regulation more broadly. Europe's markets and crypto assets legislation. We're looking at India's taxes. We're looking at, South Korea's new president and how, that country might regulate or change its regulation of crypto. So it's going to be a busy year. I can say that already 2 days out.
I was going to ask what you think the biggest event will be this coming year, but you know what? That would be crazy. Like, did anybody anticipate this past year? No. I mean, some of us might have had a hint that there might have been a problem with Terra Luna. There might have been a problem with FTX. I don't know. But the magnitude, I think, surprised a lot of people, except for a few of the hardcore. Look, everyone has an opinion, so somebody's bound to be right. But otherwise, I think the majority of these, it's just impossible to predict. Unless you have some amazing one thing that you think is definitely happening in 2023. What, Nick, you got it or no?
I would say my one thing is we're going to get a lot of, excitement for some regulatory aspect, and then it's going to get pushed down the road. Honestly, this isn't to this, regulators or lawmakers. Obviously regulating, coming up with some new regulation is going to be a complex process, but this year has felt like the year of, unresolved promises, right? We've heard so much about either certain legislative packages or certain regulatory, pushes. And now here we are, it's December, 30th? And they haven't really come to fruition. It's just more looking at, okay, well, things might happen soon. So, I think for the crypto industry, probably the important aspect there is to just continue engaging with their regulators and lawmakers and, perhaps not fighting them on Twitter as much. But, it seems like regulators will listen and take meetings if you try and hold those meetings. So, who knows? Maybe there's something to gain for them.
I mean, that Sam Bankman-Fried has definitely proved you can get meetings. But good luck getting them off Twitter, because that's, they seem, you're 20-something, you seem to know everything.